Welcome to HavenShine Reviews. We got a show for you today. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We have two movies we're going to be reviewing. I'll try not to give too much away, so just hope for the best. The first movie is The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds. And the second movie is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. You are going to want to see this before you see the movies, or you might want to see this to see what I think and compare it to what you think. So we're going to jump right into the first movie, The Adam Project. It is a sci fi. So if you like sci fi movies, um, let's see if this is a good one for you. So it is directed by Sean Levy. The writers, Jonathan Tropper, T.S. Nowlin, and Jennifer Flackett are the writers. So Ryan Reynolds stars as Adam, and Walker Scobell stars as young Adam. Mark Ruffalo is the father, and Jennifer Garner plays Ellie the mother, and Zoe Saldana plays can't think of her name right at the moment, but plays Laura, I believe, which is older Adam's wife, I guess you can say. Um, so so the Adam Project is a sci-fi time thing. So it's got a tremendous amount of action in it. It's look, Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. Okay, so he was spectacular in this movie. Um, you know, his funny self. It's kind of like reminds me a lot of like he was in Deadpool. It's that those one-liners, and he just makes you laugh. And it seems like it's spur of the moment type lines that he's doing. And then what tops it off, the kid, Walker Scobell, they basically got a young Ryan Reynolds because this kid is the same way. Okay, so eh, you just by the interaction, you would think that he'd be Ryan Reynolds when he was younger, and he does a great job as young Adam in this movie. Um, if I do the acting, I'd give the acting an 8.9. Um, they knocked it out of the ballpark. They really did. Um, and the supporting cast, I'd give it an 8.5. There are some of the characters that kind of, eh, it. Some of the characters, which they were very minor, roles, but they don't. I don't think they would have done what they did. But with that said, Mark Ruffalo was fantastic. As the scientist dad, um, and of course Zoe Saldana kicked some butt. So she was fantastic. Gave the supporting cast an 8.5. The writers, the three writers there that I had mentioned, Tropper, Nowlin, Flackett, all did a great job in this the script. So I gave them a 9. Um, the production, very good, very good. It didn't look cheesy. So I gave the production an 8.9. I feel like they could have done more, but what they did was good, and it really, you know, it didn't like you didn't need more. Would have liked to see more, effects and stuff like that, but it didn't call for it. So they did a good job. Uh, the background of the characters and the location were spot on. Gave that a 10 because they really built up those characters so that way what they were coming from. So, and of course, the background out in space, it didn't look cheesy or anything. It looked good. Everything looked good. Entertainment factor 10. It is very entertaining. Lots of action. Some great action, especially the fight scene with Zoe Saldana. She did a fantastic job in that. Music and sound. Okay, this the music in this movie is awesome. It is it was picture perfect. Of course, the sound was nice. It didn't have like high and low points where the sound seemed to change. So there was none of that. It was a very good production all around. The ending, I gave it a 9, and watchability a 9. Like I've already seen it twice, so um, it's a very good movie. One of Ryan Reynolds' best. Um, probably, you know, next best thing to Deadpool. To be honest with you, I really loved it. Uh, I'm actually hoping they have a second one. That would be pretty awesome if they had a second movie. I don't know if they will or not. Um, but the rating for this movie, I gave it a 91.8, so it is a must-see movie. So, um, yeah, they did a great job. Totally recommend it. You should go. You should see it. Would be great to see it in the theater, but it's not. Like the special effects are good, but it's not necessarily. If you have a big TV at home, you're gonna do fine. So, so um, that is the Atom Project. So, now just saw Sonic 2. Um, it's going to be interesting to see reactions of people out there. Um, Mostly because I'm going to be honest with you, it got a standing ovation when I went to see this movie yesterday. Standing ovation. It Look, when you think about movies that have sequels, almost all the movies, the first one is better in almost everything. The exception to that, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers was the better one. That was the second one. Avengers, they got better as they went along. So, um, so yeah. So when you see the first one, it's generally the better one. Well, this certainly raised expectations. So, but before we go on to this movie, let's get some of the business side of this, done. So you are watching HavenShine reviews. Um, we are on Rhode Island Broadcasting on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. We are on Twitter at Broadcasting RI. We are on Facebook.com/RI Broadcasting, and of course Twitch.tv/RI underscore broadcasting. If if you you like the show, subscribe, like, follow, do all those things. That helps. Everything helps. Every review, every share, it all helps. And if you want to throw out some bits, you can throw out some bits if you're on Twitch, seeing it live, of course. Normally I do a show on Wednesday, but was not feeling very well Wednesday, and I knew I was going to see Sonic, so I waited to do this show for today. You can also listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, TuneIn, Red Circle Podcasts. Lots of them, lots of ways to listen. If you're on YouTube, follow us. Please follow us. We have now it is 1,072 followers on YouTube for Rhode Island Broadcasting. Get in on there. Make sure you get some comments. Post those comments. Let us know what you want us to review because we will review. I know somebody had asked for a movie, Flesh and Blood, I believe it was, but there was like 7 of them, and you have to let me know which one it is. I think that was Snorlax. Uh, so if you want to follow us on Facebook, you can go to Rhode Island Broadcasting on Facebook to follow all the shows, or you can go to HavenShine Entertainment on Facebook and follow us there. Um, you can also visit the website where we have tons of movies rated, so that way you can see what our must-see movies are and must-miss movies as well. So that is that. Let's move along. We are going to cover Sonic the Hedgehog 2, directed by Jeff Fowler. Sorry, starting to talk too much, I guess. But the writers for the screenplay are Pat Casey, Josh Miller, and John Whittington. That is not an easy name to say. Ooh, I needed that. Okay, so the stars. James Marsden, who plays Tom Wachowski. Um, Tika Sumpter plays Maddie. And Jim Carrey plays Robotnik, who that role was made for him. So Ben Schwartz was Sonic once again. Knuckles was Idris Elba. And Tails was Colleen O'Shaughnessy. All 3 of them did fantastic. Ugh. Got a frog in my throat. Ribbit. Also in this movie was Shamar Moore, Natasha Rothwell, who played Rachel, and Shamar Moore played Randall. Tom Butler played Commando Walters, and I'm mentioning all of them because of the supporting cast. So that's going to come into play. Oh, you saw it yesterday? Eric, you should have told me. I would have had you come on. If you want to come on, I can send you the invite. I can send you an invite. You want to jump on? Let me know so I can get your opinion. So okay, so let's take the actor believability first. That's going to cover basically the 3 stars of this show um, that play Sonic, Knuckles, and of course Tails, and also Robotnik. Those are the main characters in this. So look, Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and of course Robotnik were awesome. They were awesome. Um, I gave the acting for those stars a 9, which is pretty good because I don't normally do that for movies like this because I mean, let's face it. I mean, it is a video game, and generally, it is not something that you're looking for that big acting. But they performed well, and like I said, Jim Carrey. This is the role he was made for. Um, Probably the only movie that I like with Jim Carrey. So don't hate me for that. But I'm not a big Jim Carrey fan. But he was fantastic in this role. The supporting cast. This is where I was a little critical on. First of all, Shamal Moore. Like, I consider him a pretty decent actor, right? And I don't know, he was kind of stale in his performance. It was like he was just going through the motions. That's the way I felt about it. Um, I thought Rachel Natasha Rothwell was fantastic. She was hilarious, hilarious. Um, and of course, James Marsden and Tika Sumpter uh, were also great. That's their roles, and they do a good job. And I thought they were fine. Um, Tom Butler, who played Commander Walters, I don't think he was that good either. Um, it was a paycheck for him. It almost looked like he was trying to. It looked like he was trying to steal the scene in a couple of those scenes and didn't do it. He kind of like left it there, and he wasn't really that great. But just those two, I had problems with. Then you're talking like minor roles, like the security guards would, they were terrible. They were terrible. They looked so out of place. When Maddie and Rachel went to go help, you know, the rest of the gang to, um, break them free. To be honest with you, so yeah, that was that. Uh, so that was the acting. So I gave it an 8.5 for supporting cast. Screenwriting 9.5. I think they knocked it out of the ballpark. Um, Storyline 9.5. The production was awesome. Like, it was flawless. 10. Music and sound. Look, the music is fantastic in this. It's a 10. By no, like, there was nothing wrong with the music. Um, Background. They built up all the characters for Knuckles and Tails especially. Um, it was fantastic. The the story with Robotnik trying to get back to Earth, that was fantastic. So um, you look at the entertainment factor, it was an absolute 10. It did not disappoint. Between the funny lines, the action, everything, it was 100% entertaining. The ending, I loved the ending. I thought the ending was awesome, especially when they all gather together and play some baseball or the base of ball. The watchability, an absolutely a 9. I feel that I will watch this again, possibly um, in the next couple of days. So when you add it all up, when you add it all up, I am look. It blew me away first of all because like the biggest thing is you know why can't they make good video game movies? Because they generally don't follow the script and they just want to do what they want to do. These movies have pretty much done a great job on following along with the actual story. And yes, video games do have a story. And this one, I gave it a whopping 95.5. It is the best video game movie ever made. Ever made. The best one. So, if you think differently, I don't know what you're watching because personally, I don't think it's even close. I have never put a video game movie in the 90s. Never. Never. Um, the first Sonic, I gave it an 89.5. That is probably the second best movie, you know, for video games. So I absolutely recommend it. If you need to go see it. You need to go see it. Pay the price. It is worth every penny. Every penny. This is Sonic 2, 95.5. It was great. A must see. And um, go out as soon as you can to go see it in a theater because you should see it in a theater. Yes. Even Eric from Sports Unfolded, which you can watch Friday night at 6 p.m. Um, yeah, it's a must see. It's a must see. You nailed it, of course, Eric. A must watch. So that is the show this time. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.